I'm Levi. I serve in production, YOLO, which is the youth ministry, Life Cafe, and a few other areas as well. This is take one. I have very early childhood memories of Kingdom Life Embassy from when we were still having the tent but on grass. So very early childhood memories, but my first real experience was YOLO, actually, and it was my first encounter with Pastor B. I was 17 years old, so this was 2018, and what had been going on in my life at that point, I was sort of at the cusp of what me fully pouring my life into football was. I thought that was my purpose, that was what God had made me to do. And at the same time, I had been sort of trying to understand more or less what is purpose and what was my purpose, because I had grown up in the church sort of all my formative years, just hearing Apostle just reiterate the word purpose, but never understanding anything. So around that time, my first encounter with Pastor B, that changed my life forever, and that was at YOLO. A moment, I will always take it back to that moment at YOLO when I encountered Pastor B first, because that was the beginning of my journey. A teaching was definitely Apostle's payday triangle teaching, where he took us in a season of understanding how your life progresses between time and season and how all of that works together for you to fulfilling your purpose. That teaching has empowered me for the rest of my days. I'll never leave that, and that'll never leave me, because that helps me navigate times in my life when this is when I'm in time. I have to learn what I need to learn. I must sow, I must serve, I must submit, I must study, I must grow, and I must sow seeds of whatever I can in the area and direction wherever I want to go. And navigate the seasons of elevation, increase, and prosperity in my life that come from me sowing those seeds when it's time to harvest that crop. And that teaching empowered me to navigate those different periods or phases of a life, what people will call, but I understand now as times and seasons of my life in the fulfillment of my purpose. And I think a personal moment was YOLO Youth Fest 2024 for me. That was sort of like the icing on the cake and sealed the deal for me that this is where I need to be and this is what I need to do. Being a part of Kingdom Life Embassy has been absolutely foundational to my faith, to its development, to its exercising, and for me living out of that place. And as much as I know that Jesus is the author and the developer of my faith, this place is where I found that faith. This place is where I began being developed in that faith. And this place is where I met Jesus as the author of my faith. So I don't think and believe that my faith is where it is now without this place. Something that I heard in a Connect group, and there's no irony in that because there's no such thing as coincidence. A very close friend of mine told me that life in the kingdom is lived in community. And if you look at Proverbs 24 verse 17, it says, as iron sharpens iron, so is one man another. And if you look at what the world often would term as you are the average of the 5 people around you, you would then know that life is meant to be lived in community. And that same Proverbs 24:17, I am who I am today, not only because of what Jesus has done for me, but the people He's placed in my life. They've sharpened me, they've refined me, and I would not be in front of this camera had it not been for all the people that have invested in my life, my friends, my family. So I know for a fact that if you're looking for a place, this is the place. Belonging starts here. Welcome home.